those plays when you had them, did you feel like they were coming pre-snap? Did you think, by the look of the defense, you had an opportunity to bust a few after you got those catches?
No, sir. Whenever I catch the ball, I just look to attack, get vertical as fast as I can, and it just so happened that it played out like that. We were playing the Jets.
How good is Aaron at putting the ball in a spot where you can do that quickly, catch and secure it, and go? How was that relationship developed in that regard?
Right. He's very well at throwing us away from the DB to where we can just catch the ball and go upfield because he's the one actually looking at the defense 9 times out of 10. My back is to the DB, or I don't know where they're at after I make a break.
You heard from any former teammates or coaches yet
Nah.
this week?
You steady trying to make this about them, cuz. No, I ain't heard from nobody.
Well, I was going to say, Seahawks fans, it's going to be a big deal for them. I'm sure Steelers fans are excited to see you out there, too, at home for the first time. What's the excitement just to get back for Shore Stadium to make it about you?
Well, it's about us at the end of the day. Looking forward to playing in front of the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. It's going to be my first time back here in a couple years, so just looking forward to the excitement of the first home game.
You made many pinball catches in your career?
I had one similar a couple years ago against the Eagles. Drew Lock threw it to me on our 2-minute drive, when Jax scored the final touchdown.
What's it like getting acclimated here versus you're drafted in Seattle? That's your first time going through everything. Was it a different process or a different feeling when you come in as a vet to get used to a new team and a new way of doing things?
No, man, because I let my work ethic and I take this game very seriously. So my preparation, speaks for itself. I'm gonna prepare like it's gonna be my last game or like the first game. My preparation is the same. I always finish everything that I catch. I'm always gonna work hard. So I think the way that I handle my business, just speaks to my teammates and the volumes of who I am as a football player and my character.
Where does that come from? Is it from your dad being a football player growing up that instilled that in you, or where do you point to for how you develop that kind of mentality?
My dad for sure, but I've had a plethora of coaches, people that I've looked up to, mentors, in my life who I go to for advice or for their for me looking at something that I should work on, whether that be in my game or in my life. So throughout my whole life, coaches, teachers, my dad is yes sir a big one.
DK, you go from facing one talented young corner in Sauce to another one in Devin. What are the particular notes that you know about him and how you have to match up with him and go back and forth?
Yes, sir. There are 32 great DBs on every team, so it's just another week in the NFL for me.
DK, what did you learn about your other receivers in that first game?
I didn't learn nothing. Y'all just seen that. They've been making plays since the day I got here. Y'all just opened your eyes and decided to watch them, I guess.
What do you think they learned about you? I know you told us last week you were excited for them to see you on a Sunday. Did you mean your demeanor's a little different on game day than throughout the week here?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm a different type of a person, player. I get into my alter ego on game day.
Is there a name for that alter ego? Or?
Nah. It's just seek and destroy.
Did you have that alter ego when you were playing in college on Saturdays, or does that just come out on Sundays?
No, that's since I was playing in high school, I would say.
Mike sort of mentioned, of course, there's week ones, there's a lot of unknowns, but there's an anticipation that Sauce was going to follow you quite a bit. Did that overall kind of go the way you anticipated, and at times when he wasn't on you, did you guys feel like you took advantage best as you could?
The defense has to, scheme up to try to beat us. We don't look at the defense and think they're going to be in a specific place. We come out with a play call and they got to stop us. That's just our mentality every time we line up.
DK, how do you feel you've developed, over the course of your career from your 6 years in Seattle up until now here in Pittsburgh?
I just think the way that I've matured and grown as a football player on the field and my leadership skills have definitely been honed in thanks to guys like Bobby, Russ, Tyler Lockett, Coach Pete, and especially being around these great players in this organization, great head coach. I've had a chance to learn from a lot of great people.
What does it say about the chemistry in your passing offense that you can have 7 different guys catch balls, 4 different guys each catch a touchdown, and do it so efficiently?
That just speaks, I think, the testament of or the work ethic from our coaching staff and just how Eight, tries to get everybody involved. He's definitely going to throw it to the open player.
Aaron was talking about also just with your preparation, everything. He said you always have to end practice by making a catch. You want to end like a shooter needs to shoot and end on a make. What else? Is there anything else detailed that is part of your process that along those lines that's similar?
Just ending everything on a positive note. So if I get a drop, I always got a big eraser it, as Russ would call it, my rookie year. Make a catch or like you said, a shooter. Ending on a make or in the weight room, I always do one extra rep of everything. So just the way that I carry myself and just the way that I view life is always ending on something positive.
Just a bad game, honestly. So, just got to continue to grow from that.
What you put on tape that you're concerned about? What are you working hardest on to correct?
Everything. Everything, it's always a game of inches, so, all the small details and all the little things you can do, just help yourself out in the long run, So.
Is it a different mindset at all this week as you prepare and go in?
No. It's always the same mindset going in. You just got to continue to prepare the right way and, just hope for the best.
Mike said he hasn't lost confidence in you. Do you feel like you still have the confidence to fix what needs fixed quickly? Mike said he hasn't lost confidence in you, but do you still have the confidence to kind of fix what needs fixed very quickly here?
Oh, yeah, of course. I never lost confidence in myself. Everything's not going to always be perfect, but at the end of the day, it's my job to protect Aaron, and I didn't do that. So, moving forward throughout the season, I got to do that. So.
Was there a conversation between you and Aaron after, especially that first one? But
No, not really. It wasn't, it was, but it wasn't about nothing, that people would think about. It's just like, we're going to get back in the lab, continue to get better, Just glad we got out of here with the win. So that's about it.
I say, what kind of feedback does he give you in the game? How does he kind of maybe try to adjust?
Next play. It's just always next play mentality with him. He'll tell me, I effed up some plays. It's all of us. It's not just you. It's a whole collective unit. So we just got to continue to do that.
Russ could still move a little bit even though he was older by the end. And obviously Justin's a great scrambling quarterback. Is there a heightened sense of urgency on your guys' part as an offensive line because Aaron's 41?
It is. It is. It definitely is. He's really not a mobile threat to anyone, even though he still may tuck it and run one of these days. You just got to be prepared. But just like you said, he's an older quarterback. He's seasoned in the game, so we just got to continue to try and keep him upright, give him enough time to make his reads, and put the ball on the money like we need him to. So.
Is it a different challenge? Is it a different challenge because he is less mobile than Russ and Justin in adjusting how you guys are playing?
Yeah, of course, it's always different challenges that come with everything, but you learn to adjust to those and. You just got to figure it out because he's not going nowhere. I got a full season ahead with him, so I just got to continue to lock in to what I got to do to protect him and keep him upright.
Now that you've had a chance to go back and watch the tape, what were some of your big takeaways from the line's performance on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we got to be cleaner in pass protection. Like Coach T said, we can't have Aaron getting hit. That's always our main priority. So.
What's that biggest thing that you guys need to clean up in pass protection to keep them cleaner?
Yeah, it's just everyone. It's all technique. It's details. It's just really just details of the protections.
Zach, how about the run game? What do you guys need to do to get the run game?
Yeah, I feel like we were one block away a lot of times, and it's just details again. Everyone's got to be on the same page.
What are some of the challenges that Seattle's defense poses compared to some of the challenges the Jets pose? I know Seattle likes to bring a lot of simulated pressure.
Yeah, they bring a lot of pressure. There's a lot of movement on the line. It seems like the D linemen, they move a lot, so we have to be ready for that and be ready to adjust to that.
Zach, it was your first opportunity in a game situation with Aaron. What was it like, huddle with him, game with him?
He was great. He controlled the huddle, controlled the game, just had really great command of the offense.
How do you feel like the communication was for you guys?
Communication was good. I feel like we were, on the same page. I feel like we had good communication and just across the board.
I think it was the first offensive snap of the game. There was a sack on Aaron. How frustrating is it to start a game that way, start a season that way? Yeah,
you never want to start a game with a sack, but it's more about how you respond after things like that happen. You can't let that play beat you twice. It's easy to have a bad play like that and then let that kill the drive, but you just got to keep playing.
Zach, after watching tape, how do you think the line's going to respond this week?
Yeah, I think we're going to respond and have a lot better game this week. That's what we have to do. We have to bring it every week, and that's what we're going to do this week.
Zach, there was a big called overreaction Monday after the first week one. Regardless, that's for people like us. For the players, do you have to sort of, especially early in the season with so much expectations, do you guys what do you do to guard against that yourself? To not like one bad game. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
I mean it's it's like the first game of the year. It's going to be a little sloppy. We're not exactly sure what the defense is going to bring out there. Not exactly sure like how they're going to line up, stuff like that. It's a little sloppy, but I think once we get a couple games in us, it's going to clean up a lot and stuff like that.
Was Aaron calming? Did he have a calming presence to the?
Yeah. It never seemed like he was worried or anything. He was calm throughout the whole game. Even when we were down a couple points, he was still the same guy.
Zach, Mike talked about how the run game hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to really get going. You guys didn't do a whole lot first team in the preseason, and then this was a very back and forth offensive game on Sunday. What do you guys have to do to kind of short track this run game to get things going at a quicker pace so that you guys can put good tape out there to feel that confidence?
I would say like just having success early is a big key to it because I don't think we had success early. And then we kind of went more to the pass, and that worked, so we stuck with that. And then we got to some downhill runs late, but I think if we can just get it going early, that's a big key.
Arthur Smith talks about how you guys have one of the more athletic offensive lines and an ability to pull from every position. What can you guys do with that to make that part of starting fast?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has the ability to pull, and that's it's a big part of the offense. A lot of guys do it, so it's just another layer, another thing that we do, that the defense has to worry about.
What's Aaron's feedback style with you guys? Is he really specific on the details? How have you kind of learned about that?
Yeah, he's very specific on the details. He lets us know if we're wrong too, which is good. He holds us accountable, and I think we need that.
Does he do that in game, or is that like a
Yeah. Like if someone's on the right spot, he'll tell you. And some people can take that the wrong way, but I think it's a good thing just to hold people accountable.
What do you take away from pass pro, and what needs to improve going into this week?
Personally, obviously there's some reps I want back. Lost a couple of them, but I would just say just continuing to be consistent and not losing the rep myself. You know what I mean? Putting myself in the best position to make that block. Working on a lot of stuff today, so I feel like I'm in a good spot going into this week. So,
how frustrating is it? I think it was the first offensive snap is a sack given up. Just how frustrating is that for an O-line, and what do you have to do to rebound when a game starts like that?
Obviously, that's probably the most stressful thing on us is, and to start the game off like that. Obviously, if you start a game off like that, you can't get any worse. So from there, just continuing to play with fundamentals and finish blocks. And I felt like we did a better job going into the game. We settled in, and so yeah.
Mike Tomlin yesterday mentioned the need to get the run game going a little bit more. Knowing it's week one and there's still a lot to be worked on, how do you guys take those steps forward to get more of a run game in this weekend's matchup?
I think just continuing to watch what Seattle's doing and executing. That's really the biggest thing is finishing blocks, not falling off blocks late, and making sure that we're staying in between the guy that we're blocking and the running back. So,
what did you learn from playing behind or in front of Aaron for the first time in a game?
Just like any other quarterback, man, we got to do a better job of staying in front of the block, the guy that's trying to rush him. Felt like he was hit too many times and just as a no line, but I feel like we're going to do a better job this week. So.
Obviously, Aaron's not as mobile as some other quarterbacks that have come through here. He's 41 years old. Is there an added pressure on you guys as an O-line to keep him upright and to, a different challenge in keeping that pocket clean?
I don't think we can use his age as an excuse. Regardless who's back there, whether it's him, Mason, Will, anybody, obviously we got to do a better job of blocking our guy. So.
Did you feel like when you look at the film, like it was more like matchup problems more than assignment problems, saying that like you guys, it looked like you guys knew where you were supposed to be, but just still lost at certain points to, really talented guys for the Jets. But did you get that sense just looking back at film of what you guys have to be better at?
Yeah, I feel like we were all in the right spots, blocking the right guys, just continuing to clean up our technique, and that's exactly what we were doing today is working on that. Obviously, you got to continue to work on our craft, and that's something we have to take personal is making sure that 8 stays upright at all times.
What's Pat Meyer been like this week, just talking with you guys to improve?
I mean, the message is always the same. Whether we have a good game or a bad game, is continue to play the way that we want to play, and that's aggressive. So we got to stay on that side of the ball, being more aggressive rather than them attacking us. So.
Seattle likes to bring a lot of simulated pressure. How do you guys prepare for that, and how was that different than what you saw a week ago from the Jets?
I think just reading stances, watching our keys, just making sure that we know that they're going to move a lot on the D-line and bring guys off the edge up the middle. So just watching film and making sure we're prepared.
Troy, I know you were doing your own thing at UW for years, but how big of a figure was DK Metcalf in Seattle when you guys were in the same city?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that whole entire team, just the Seahawks brand. Obviously, DK was a big part of that. We'd go practice at the VMAC, which is their practice facility, once a year, and honestly, it was like the worst practice of the year because it was like the hardest day. I don't know if that was like on purpose because like we were at the Seahawks stadium, but obviously seeing a guy like that here now, just talking to him to see what his relationship was like with those guys over there, and a lot of good things he was talking about, but. Yeah, just treating it like any other week. So excited for him to finally play against his team, and yeah, we just got to go out there and execute.
Jabrill, how do you think this fit is for you in this scheme?
Well, I think it's a great fit. It's just little different things than I'm used to doing, so just got to lock in on the details, get out there a little bit more, shake the rust off, but I should be all right.
Jabrill, I know you're just getting here, but you're a guy who's been very versatile in your career.
Sure.
You're paired with Jalen Ramsey, who literally lined up outside slot and free safety into the box.
Sure.
How exciting is it to play in a defense that's going to have that many versatile weapons?
Oh, it's always exciting when you got a lot of guys who can do various things, but I'm excited to join the family, help this team in any way I can, be another versatile asset, and can't wait to see how it looks later down the year.
Why do you think it ended the way it did for you in New England?
It just is what it is. Sometimes you're not good enough. You play a long time in this league, you're gonna get traded or cut. So, it is what it is. I'm happy Tomlin made the call. He was a coach I definitely said I wanted to play for before I retired, and it just happened a lot sooner than I thought. But I'm happy to be here.
What's the last month or so been like for you, going from being cut and then getting the call and coming here?
It's a different experience for me, but at the end of the day, that's the nature of this league. Business is business. You can't put your feelings into it. And, wherever you end up, they want you, and you got to go in there, put your best foot forward, do whatever they ask you to do to help that team. It's a football game, so that's what I plan to do.
I think you tweeted that you've played for a number of different coaches and a number of different schemes, different positions. How does that versatility help you out in a situation like this?
Oh, it definitely helps, especially, you get familiarized with the language. There might be some crossovers in various areas. It just helps you pick up the defense a little better, helps you play the techniques a little better. But each individual ball club has their own way they want to do things. So definitely got to watch some tape, camp, previous games to see the different techniques for the kind of the same calls a little bit. But I think I'll be all right for sure.
Jabrill, you said that you wanted to play for Mike T before the end of your career. Why was that? Why is that?
One of the best to do it. I already had the chance to play for Bill. He was another guy that I wanted to play for. Was it year 19, year 20 for him. Always puts his best foot forward, has his ball clubs in good positions at the end of the year, man. How can you not want to be a part of that?
Are you guys have much interaction before they brought you
in? Just after the game. Not too much before that, but just after. In college, but once I got cut, nothing.
No, I mean Tomlin, like over the years, have you interacted with him?
Oh yeah, just after the games and things like that. Of course, player to coach banter, things like that.
Jabrill, you have any relationships with any of the guys on this team? Maybe not his teammates, but just know them?
Yeah. I played with John, I played with Dan, I know Corliss. Then the guys that's playing against him, for a while. I was up down the road, early in my career, so I'm familiarized with a lot of these guys in here already. So it'll be an easy transition.
I kind of meant more the guys in the secondary.
Oh, nah, not really. It's gonna be my first time kind of, playing with those guys. I knew Elliott a little bit when he was with Baltimore. We played against those guys a couple times, but for the most part, this is my first time kind of meshing with those guys back there.
Did you hear from anyone, once the news kind of broke? Did you hear from anyone on the team, text or calls or anything?
Once I signed, for sure, but nothing before. I kind of just kept it low, just see how the cards played out.
Mike Tomlin always likes to kind of talk about, when new guys come in, getting on that moving train and getting up to speed. What's that process like? How challenging is it, and how apt do you feel to be able to do that?
Well, it's part of your job as a professional. Getting here, learn the playbook, learn how they want to do things, learn their identity, and, when your number's called, you're expected to produce. That's the name of this game.